no one will tell you in the industry, right? No one will literally tell you this and how you need to gamify your ads, honestly. So guys, got a really good banger for you today, and I'm really excited for this one. It's going to teach you the 3 steps that you need to create high converting video ads, right? And I'm going to take you through the full process of what that really looks like, the full walkthrough, honestly, and not even leaving a single stone unturned. All right, so let's dive straight into it. All right, firstly, you need to understand there are more than 1 billion users on all these social media platforms, right? You have Twitter, you have Facebook, you have Telegram, you have TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, Reddit, literally YouTube, Pinterest. You have all these crazy platforms, right? And you need to imagine the 1 billion users you have on all these platforms as literally like this, right? It literally looks like this, and this might just be 200,000 people. It's literally 1 billion users, right? And people range all the way from the ages of 13 to the ages of 65 plus, right? And you need to keep that in mind when you begin advertising, or you begin your social media strategy, or you begin even creating your video ads, right? Because everyone is trying to market to these people. Everyone out there is literally trying to market to every single person in this stratosphere. Like literally everyone's trying to market to these people, right? And when you actually think about it, you need to actually leverage the perfect visual hook and text hook to reel them in and pay attention to your creative and pay attention to our creative, right? So the way you actually have to do this, like literally go ahead and look at these brands, right? They're smart. They exactly know what to use as their thumbnail in order to keep people retained into watching the entire video, right? So the job of your first 3 seconds, right, of your creative is literally to capture and keep people's attention, right? If these 1 billion people are literally being advertised to on a day-to-day basis, you need to understand that you need to implement something that's completely unique, right? And you need to be able to keep their attention, because if you don't attract their attention, they're never even gonna go through all this process and even land to your website, right? So you need to understand that you need to firstly get users to stop and take notice of your ads, right? Your ads need to trigger your potential buyer, right? Now, you need to focus on how well your ads capture attention, right? A few ways of capturing attention is through a visual hook, or a text hook, right? Or a transition, right? Right. So these are literally the 3 kinds of ways you can capture your audience's attention, right? You can call out your potential buyer in the text hook, right? While also showing them something that they are used to seeing in their own household or in the lifestyle that they dream about living, right? So that's how you actually capture their attention, through the visual hook, right? And again, the transition is pretty much or just a scroll stopping transition that you can implement from literally any video editing software, right? So that's pretty much it in literally capturing attention, right? Now, when you also go into looking at a few more thumbnails that are more popular on TikTok, you see that these brands are also doing the same thing. They're literally showing you how you'll feel after consuming their product, right? In this case, it's pizza and some other confectionery food, right? So you also need to look at like what these brands are doing, right? These are fitness brands, and you can see that they are also optimizing their thumbnail very well, right? You can see that that's exactly what they are doing, right? Along with also a text hook to keep you watching to the very end, right? And next up, you also see all these brands, right? They're literally optimizing for you to actually stop, right? The first thing that they're optimizing for is for you to stop, because the immediate second you look at one of these thumbnails, you're likely to get curious and you're likely to think, what are they really talking about? What's really happening here, right? So that's exactly what you do when you have to attract your viewer into your ad, right? Now, second step is engage and retain. So all the way from the first 3 seconds, after the first 3 seconds, it's pretty much engaging the user with ad contents. And I'll be going ahead and showing you guys examples, right? I'm going to show you guys examples of what this actually looks like after we complete all this, right? So you need to understand that you need to be able to engage and retain, right? The way you actually do that is what's more important than getting the right people to engage with your ad. Getting the wrong people not to engage with your ad, right? Because you need to understand that when you are creating ads, you are literally filtering people from that 1 billion that you initially targeted, right? Especially with how ad platforms are currently running, you need to keep your targeting as broad as possible, right? So I'm literally seeing this happen on all our client accounts where the targeting is super broad and our creative is actually doing all the filtering, right? So if you're actually targeting these 1 billion people, your creative needs to say something in the first 3 seconds for your ideal customer avatar to stop the scroll and listen to what your brand has to say, right? And the way you actually do that is again through these first three methods. But then again, you again need to engage your users with ad content, and you need to filter out the people who are actually not interested or actually potentially even not in your ideal customer bracket, right? Because anyways, you're going to have to retarget people down the funnel. And if you're getting wrong people to interact with your ad, that's horrible for your ad, because then you're potentially losing on advertising dollars when you are retargeting these potential customers down the line, down the funnel, right? Especially you do not want people who are not even your ideal clients, your ideal customers, to click onto your website, because then you're getting a bunch of garbage traffic, right? What do you prefer? You prefer quality traffic or you prefer garbage traffic, right? If you want quality traffic that gets you a super high ROAS, like something 8x, 10x, 12x, you need to literally follow these steps, right? And that's the only way, right? So think about this. If the majority of people engaging with your ad are your ideal prospect and they click, or at least they read or watch your ad for a period of time, and many go on to buy, that's a whole bunch of positive signals for Facebook, right? So you need to understand that every time the right customer interacts with your brand and they actually go ahead to your website, right, they engage and they retain till the very end of your video ad creatives, what ends up happening is that sends a positive signal back to Facebook on their backend, and there's no front end metric to really track this other than completion rate of the video, 100% watch rate. But you need to understand that every time that happens and people actually go ahead, make a purchase after they've retained watching your video, on the back end of Facebook, that actually sends in a positive signal to their ad platforms, right? And when that happens, obviously your ads start getting lower CPMs, right? And this is literally things no one will tell you in the industry, right? No one will literally tell you this, and how you need to gamify your ads, honestly, in order to get more attention and to convert more users down the funnel, right? And obviously, now moving on to the last step, we actually have the call to action, right? So you need to understand that you need to have a call to action, right? Without a call to action, no one's going to understand why did you even post that ad, why do you even run that ad, right? If there's no real reasoning or justification on why you're actually running an ad, it wouldn't make sense to even pay advertising dollars into it, right? Because without the attraction and the engagement and retention, if you don't have a CTA, you're going to miss out on a bunch of revenue, right? And you don't want to do that, right? You want to make crazy tons of money. And the way you do that is you actually have a CTA attached at the end of your video, right? So what ends up happening is, after you find a winning video ad, you only have to increase budget on the top, right? You only need to increase budget on top of the ad, and you're going to end up with sales, because now you have the perfect ads formula, right? You literally went through all the 3 steps to creating a high converting video ad, and now it's literally inevitable for people to convert, right? And again, leading customers to take an action. So providing the right CTA is key, so that everyone who engaged and watched through your video ad knows where to obtain the product, right? It's really that simple. Like, you need to provide the right CTA for people to go ahead, click through your website, right? And check out the product that you potentially had in your video ad, right? If your store is something that has a more generalistic view and it's pretty much a niche store and you have a bunch of products in a specific niche, that as well you could provide a more generalistic call to action, right? Like, you could provide like get now, shop here, click here, there are a bunch of them. But at the same time, again, your ad needs to have these 3 steps totally nailed down for it to convert, right? And now I'm going to show you the examples, all right? So firstly, our first example is right here, right? So check this out. So they caught your attention with the visual hook and the text hook, right? They caught your attention with the visual hook and the text hook. It's a very POV styled video, and you can check how this video moves, right? It's by the brand Huel. They actually provide protein shakes and protein powders, right? So you can see how they're actually placing a timer in the middle of the video for you to retain through the video, because you're not just focusing on the timer, you're also looking at what the people in the video are doing, right? And when you actually take it through the full process, it actually relates back to the customer's life. It actually relates back to what the customer does on a day-to-day basis, right? And when that happens, you've built relatability, you've built a logical reasoning, right? You've built a logical reasoning as to why the customer should purchase. You've also built relatability, right? This scene is literally relatability and likability. You have also implemented a really good text hook, right? And a visual hook, right? You have retained your viewers through the entire video, right? And then at the end, it's literally 1 CTA away. You just put shop now and you're done, because you have literally provided all the elements for a customer to convert, right? It's literally that simple, right? And I'm going to show you another one. Right, and say the same thing over here as well, right? You start off with a transition. You just have the bag of protein drop, and there's no text hook, but I don't have the time. Like, I don't have the time catches people's attention, because everyone right now in the 21st century thinks that they don't have time, right? So if you can implement that straight away into your text hook, that already brings out a very big pain point for a lot of people who you're targeting, right? And immediately there are quick snapshots of what that process looks like, what's the backend process, what the customer sees when they are using your product, right?
Because it's 400.
And here again, it tells you all the benefits of using the product, right? It doesn't tell you the features, it tells you the benefits that you will experience as a customer after using the product. And guys, trust me, like, no one in the industry is going to tell you all this, right? No one's going to give you such a big breakdown, honestly. And you can see here as well, they're making it very cost efficient, they're making it look very attractive in the eyes of a consumer, while also placing in front of them someone who they recognize, right? So Huel, the brand, is actually from UK, right? And even this brand ambassador, the content creator over here, he's also based out of UK. So you can see how they're also building likability and relatability, right? He's also an entrepreneur. So if they're targeting the entrepreneurship interest targeting on ads, very easily people are going to convert, because everyone trusts this guy, right? And if you literally go down the video, they actually show you the entire process. He shows you everything, literally, right? And then in the end, it's literally a shop now, and then there's a little offer as well. Free t-shirt and shaker for new customers, right? So that really pushes people to click through onto the website and make that purchase, right? So guys, that was pretty much this video for you, and I'll be shooting literally a follow-up video on what you need to optimize after the customer clicks through the website, right? So after they click through the website, what do you need to optimize for them to actually retain and purchase, right? That's going to be the next few videos. So stay tuned for that. And again, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead, subscribe. If you're interested in, again, getting all of this set up and getting all these video ads set up, go ahead, drop me a DM on Instagram. It's @ecomcarl. You'll find the links down below. And yeah, thanks guys for watching, and see you next time.